Teamsport Reading opened in late 2014, and until recently the track was enjoyed by rental karting enthusiasts and the general public alike, with some saying it's the best indoor karting experience in the United Kingdom. However, the reputation of Teamsport Reading has had a dramatic fall over the last few months. But what has caused this fall in reputation, and will Teamsport make attempts to recover this lost reputation? This is the unexpected downfall of Teamsport Reading. Teamsport Reading opened in late 2014 as a part of the Teamsport brand, which is the biggest rental karting chain in the UK. Reception towards the track was overwhelmingly positive, which is summarised in many reviews, one of which reading, "A breath of fresh air for indoor karting," and another review reading, "The track was so much more than I expected." And these reviews were with good reason, because the track opened with 3 floors and an average lap time that took roughly 1 minute across a 900 metre track, all indoors. This fulfilled most of the needs of the people who went to the karting track. This positivity continued for the track through the next few years, and the track got a new fleet of petrol cars in 2018, which were more reliable, yet further increasing the popularity of the track. One very positive review read, "Well-maintained cars, good facility and friendly staff." And a track guide was uploaded on the Teamsport YouTube channel, which had much positive reception in the comments. However, this point could be seen as a high point for the track, and maybe for the company as a whole. But as we progress forward to 2022, everything started to change. You see, the Teamsport brand used 2 different types of karts, them being petrol and electric cars. The Reading track at this point in time used the petrol karts, but other tracks such as the tracks in Farnborough and Acton used the electric counterparts. But in October of 2022, Teamsport started to convert their petrol cars into electric cars. It all started with the Teamsport track in Eastleigh, which would set the trend for the Teamsport brand as a whole, as the company would be committed to a complete electrification by the end of 2026. The Teamsport tracks in Newcastle, Brighton and Nottingham would follow Teamsport Eastleigh, and the electric karts would have mixed reception. You see, there were obvious benefits to the electric karts, especially to the environment and also to people's health with fumes in buildings. And this positivity was summed up in many reviews, all talking about how much they liked the electric karts. But others didn't like the electric karts, often because they didn't feel as realistic as the petrol karts, such as this comment about the original Teamsport Eastleigh circuit, which read, "I miss this track. So much better than the new one with the horrible electric cars." However, in general, most people understood the motive behind the kart change, and no one was too annoyed at Teamsport for it. But their next decision wouldn't be met with the same positive reaction. In June of 2023, Teamsport Reading would temporarily shut down for a refurbishment, and on the 15th of July, the track reopened to much dislike. The electric karts were expected, but the track layout had an unexpected downgrade. And this is because at Teamsport tracks in Newcastle and Preston's, the new karts were also joined by the new combat karts. These combat karts were very similar to Mario Karts, with power-ups and screens being on the karts which could slow down other players and speed up yourself. However, these combat karts were met with mostly negative reviews, such as in this comment which says, "Great for kids, wave goodbye to anyone who's actually serious about karting," which resembles the thought for most people who went to Teamsport tracks with combat karts. But when renovating Reading, something was very different. You see, the addition of combat karts wouldn't have been a big deal if it didn't have any other consequences. However, there was one more consequence, and that is that the combat karts needed to use the track space, which would have been otherwise given to the normal electric karts. And if you remember, I mentioned earlier that Teamsport Reading used to be a 900 metre circuit with 3 floors, and it took around a minute to complete a lap. Well, after the renovation, it was a 2-floor track, around 450 metres, and it only took around 35 seconds to complete an entire lap. This massive track downgrade was met by unparalleled disappointment from the customers of Teamsport, as it became clear to many people that the company was more focused on short-term profits than their loyal fan base. This is shown by this comment on the flying lap uploaded onto the Teamsport YouTube channel, which read, "This go-kart track has fallen victim to a focus on short-term profits, neglecting their loyal customer base in the process." And another comment which regards about the downgrade to the track layout, which reads, "The track layout is incredibly poor, just a load of hairpins. Took away the best corners from the original layout. The track's lost its character." And I'll put a link to this video if any of you want to read some of the other comments. But these comments just show the incredible loss of reputation that this change has had on the track and the company as a whole. But after all, although Teamsport Reading's reputation has plummeted, it's still a great place to have some fun with friends, which is the main objective of indoor rental karting. Please consider subscribing. And I wanted to end off the video by saying this was more go Teamsport and more of a documentary of the events of Teamsport.